everyone, it's Kari from sunshineinmypocket.com. Today I have some really fun cat cards to share with you that are glow in the dark. Look at this adorable set. This is from the Rabbit Hole Designs, and this is the set called Meowgical. Meowgical. So cute. There's a spider web, 4 different cats, and a bunch of really cute sentiments. I also picked up the dies that match, and one thing I love about the Rabbit Hole Designs dies is that they are already cut for you. That's something you don't see very often, and I just adore that. So there's a die for each of the cats, and also this die here for the stars. I'm going to be using all of them today. And then I've also got this stencil. This looks like cat eyes. Look how cool this stencil is. So I'm going to go ahead and get started with this stencil and see how it turns out. Now I decided to go with oranges today. It matches my fingernails. I wanted to make some really bright glow-in-the-dark neon orange cat cards. But you'll see that it kind of morphed a little as this project went on. I started with that orange marmalade, and now I'm bringing in some crackling campfire to go around the edges and darken it up just a little bit. And you'll see just how beautiful this stencil is. Look at that. So pretty. So I'm going to go ahead and set that aside while I stamp all the cats, and we're going to color them up. I've stamped them a couple of times to get a nice dark impression, and I'm going to go in with some Copic markers. I definitely wanted them to be black cats, but we're using shades of gray to get the variation in color. Then I'll bring in some oranges and purples and whatever other colors I need to, but we'll start using the neutral grays. I have the N7 right here, and that's how we're going to start out on this first cat. And then I'll blend that through with the N5 and N3. And I'm going to give you a little closer look here as I go through, but this is going to really make them look fantastic, especially when we show you the glow in the dark. I love these cats. I just love how cute they are with their big faces. Very cute. So I'm doing just simple coloring today. I left this first one in just so you can see how I like to blend through all the colors. It's a very simple, easy coloring, and this is just a joy to do when you have images that are just this cute. Now, while I'm doing this coloring, I wanted to tell you how generous the people at the Rabbit Hole Designs are. They gave me a discount coupon code for you if you want to go do a little shopping yourself. The code is Kari10, and I definitely recommend their products, especially their Cottontail blending brushes, which I use exclusively for my oxide inks, and their Bitty Bunny blending brushes, which are the smaller ones, and they're perfect for blending in small areas. I use them all the time. I love them so much. And then of course their stamps and dies. So I just want to give a big thanks to the Rabbit Hole Designs for their generosity and giving us that coupon code. I hope you enjoy that. If you do end up getting something, leave me a comment. Let me know what you got. I love to hear. I'm just going to finish up coloring this little kitty right here, and then I'm going to move on to the other parts of this image. For the pumpkin, I'm using really bright oranges today. This is a really fun pumpkin to color and super easy too. I'm starting with the YR04. That's going to be for our darkest shade, and then I'll blend that through with a couple other YR colors. This is a fun little image with that kitty peeking out of the jack-o'-lantern. There we go. Get that other color here. This one is the YR15 actually. And then I'm going to bring in another color, and then I'll bring in a yellow for the eyes and the mouth. So it looks like it's glowing from the inside. This is the Y17 right here, and I'll finish up with that. I am going to go over this one more time because I generally like to add some darker shading. For the yellow, I'm going to use the Y06, and that's going to make it look like it is glowing. I'll use the same yellows and oranges for this hat on the stars and also on the sash of the hat here. So bringing in some oranges there, darkening it up just a little bit, and that's going to be beautiful. I'm going to skip ahead. The rest of it, I colored up the hat orange, or not orange, purple, and the cape orange and black. And then for the potion, I also did some purples. So I used similar colors throughout. And now it's time to add those dies. I'm just going to tape them down with some low tack tape here. And I'm going to cut them all out through my die cut machine. Originally, what I thought was I was going to use 2 or 3 images on the same card. But when I started laying them out and getting a feel for how it was going to look, I changed my mind. And you'll see that because I want to bring in some glow in the dark elements and also one of the sentiments. So here's what I decided to do. I'm going to make another card. I'm using some dark blues on this one. In the end, I made 4 cards. Instead of 1, instead of 2, I made 4. Yes, this is how my crafty life works out sometimes. So this one I'm using blues and bringing in some blacks around the edges just to darken that up. I think this stencil is gorgeous in all the colors. So pretty. And you could even do it where the center is a different color and then radiate out to even a different color. It would be so fun to do that way as well. So here is the glow paste. This is what I was so excited to use for these cats. So what I'm going to do is take 2 black circles and use that same stencil and run the glow paste right through. Now this paste is very soft. I didn't expect that. You saw when I went in with my palette knife, I expected to have a little more resistance there, but it is very, very soft. So it's very easy to spread, and I found that I had just an easy time spreading it with my palette knife alone. I didn't use a stencil pal or anything like that. Just was able to get a nice smooth result just with my palette knife here. So now I'm going to clean off all my stencil, my palette knife, and allow these to dry. And look how cool that looks with that same design. Really, really fun. I'll use my finger to go around the edges to make sure there's not any rough edges, because when that dries, it makes it a little harder to remove that. For these panels, I will cut them down a little so I can have a black border around the entire panel. So I'll do that for all of these panels, and you'll see the other 2 that I end up adding later on. But that's going to be really pretty, just like that. Before I attach that to the panel, I want to cut out a circle from those because no one's ever going to see behind that panel, and I figure I'm going to need those black circles for my other 2 cards. So I ended up using those for these stars. So this beautiful star stencil, I'm going to run that glow paste through. Look at those. Really fun. And wait till I show you how they glow in the dark. So here's the panels. I ended up doing a purple and a green in addition to the 2 we already did together. And now I'm just choosing some sentiments to go with each one and kind of deciding which cat I want to go with each sentiment, because some of the sentiments make more sense with some of the others. I've also attached that spider web with the spiders coming down, so that's going to be in the upper left corner here. And I'm stamping it multiple times to get a nice dark impression. If your stencil background is too dark and your sentiment is not showing up very well, you could also do a sentiment strip and add that later on. I just kept it this way. I found I could still read that sentiment just fine in real life, and so I left it alone. Now I'll attach each of the circles with the glow paste on them, just like so. And I'm going to choose which cat I want to go on each one, and I'll attach the cats with some foam adhesive. So those are going to be popped up and a little more dimensional. I'll use my tweezers to just add those just like so. And then I'll start attaching all of the panels to the card bases. And there we go. There's our little pumpkin one. And look at this one, fangs for the treats. That's perfect for this little vampire cat. I love that. So to finish up, I just want to add them all to their card bases, but I also wanted to add a few of these stars. Remember there's that die cut star in there that cuts out the stars in the stamp set? Well, I just ended up using the die cuts alone and cut out some silver paper to add to all of the panels. So I added about 3 stars per panel in the different sizes. There's kind of a little bit larger of a star and a little smaller of a star. So for each one, I ended up adding those all around just like that, and then added them to my card bases. So let me show you how these all turned out. Oh, and I also colored in the spiders black because they are an outline spider, but I wanted to be solid. So I just took a black marker and colored all of those in. Here's a look at all of our cards. Here's the first one with that cute cat in the pumpkin. It says Halloween is Meowgical. Here's the fangs for the treats little guy. You can see the stars just sparkling in the light. Here's I purred a spell on you. I love that little cat with the hat. So cute. And the last one here is the green one that I ended up adding a little later on. It says too cute to spook, which I think is true. And now I'm going to try to show you the glow in the dark elements. Let's see if I can kind of turn off the light here and cup my hand. It's still really hard to see. So I went ahead and brought my black light in and took some photos so that I could show you the glow in the dark elements. It really does look so cool with the glow in the dark stars or the glow in the dark cat eyes behind those cats. It's a really, really neat look and so fun. So I just had to take those, and look, my fingernails glow in the dark too. I didn't know they were going to do that. Such a fun stamp set. I love adding a glow in the dark element. I hope you loved this too and enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to leave a comment and subscribe to the channel. It really does help me out a lot with YouTube, and I appreciate you so much for coming back and watching my videos. I hope you've been enjoying this Halloween card series. There's only one left to go. And don't forget about that coupon code. I'll have it listed below as well for you. Thanks so much. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.